Monday 7:04 a.m. I was still in slippers, coffee in one hand, trash bag in the other, when Mr. Thompson, my 68-year-old neighbor, nearly stumbled across the sidewalk to reach me. He wasn't the type to panic. Retired Navy. Sharp, steady, private. So when I saw his face that morning, pale and shaking, I knew something serious was coming. "Listen," he said, barely breathing. "I didn't know if I should tell you, but I couldn't sleep last night. This has been happening too long." I blinked. "What's happening?" "Every time you leave town, someone comes to your house. A man. Around 10 p.m. Leaves before dawn. He's been coming every night you're away." I stood frozen. "Are you sure?" He nodded slowly. "Same car. Same man. And your wife, she greets him at the door." I didn't ask more. Didn't accuse. I just walked back inside, shut the door quietly behind me, and stood in the hallway, listening to the faint hum of the fridge and my heart racing louder than it ever had. By noon, I had called a tech friend, installed 3 hidden cameras, and booked a fake business trip for the weekend. I kissed my wife goodbye that Friday. She smiled like nothing was wrong. And that's when everything truly began. Friday night, I checked into a cheap motel 2 towns over. I didn't even unpack. I just opened my laptop, logged into the hidden camera system, and stared at the split-screen views of my own home. Bedroom. Living room. Entryway. Each angle crystal clear. Each room too quiet. 9:50 p.m. She was in the kitchen, wine glass in hand, wearing the dress she never wore for me. She lit candles. Put on jazz. Poured a second glass. My stomach turned. 9:58. Headlights flashed outside. At exactly 10:01 p.m., the front door opened. He didn't knock. He walked in. Like he belonged there. My wife met him at the door, they hugged. Not just friendly. Familiar. Close. Her hand lingered on his chest. And that's when I saw his face. It wasn't a stranger. It was Jason. My coworker. My best man. The guy I'd helped through 2 breakups, 3 job interviews, and a surgery. Jason, who told me he envied the life I had. Jason, who once joked, "If you ever disappear, I'm moving in." Now he was in my living room, laughing with my wife. I didn't cry. I didn't speak. I just watched. Every second. Then I closed the laptop. And began writing an email with the subject line. To be sent when I say so. Saturday morning, I showed up at the office like it was any normal weekend. Coffee in hand, casual smile, nodding at coworkers. Jason wasn't there yet. I sat at his desk. Waited. My chest was steel. No cracks. Just calculation. At 9:12 a.m. he strolled in. Hoodie. Sunglasses. Whistling. I greeted him first. "Rough night?" He laughed. "Man, you have no idea." I smiled. "Actually, I do." He stopped. Just for a second. Barely a flinch, but it was there. Then he brushed past, pretending I hadn't spoken. Good. I didn't want him panicking yet. That afternoon, I updated the email draft. Added the video footage. Time-stamped. Attached screenshots. Embedded photos of our wedding with him standing 2 feet behind me, hand on my shoulder. Then I saved it again. To be sent when I say so. But I wasn't done. Monday morning, I quietly pulled funds from our joint account. Not all of it. Just enough to get her attention. I canceled her salon membership. Disconnected the Netflix she used under my name. Suspended her car insurance. Not big things. Not yet. Death by 1,000 cuts. That evening she called. Voice sweet. "Hey babe, did the card company mess up again?" I replied calmly, "Oh no. I just needed to rebalance a few things." She laughed nervously. "You sound different." I smiled. "I am." That night I went home. Not to fight, to observe. The house looked exactly the same. Same couch, same photos, same smell of vanilla candles she loved. But it felt like a set I no longer belonged to. She was in the kitchen scrolling on her phone when I walked in. "Back early?" she asked casually, not even looking up. I leaned against the counter. "Trip got canceled." She froze for half a second, just enough for me to see it, then smiled too brightly. "That's good." We ate in silence. No small talk. No warmth. Just the quiet hum of betrayal hanging in the air. After dinner, I went to the bedroom and opened the laptop. I played one clip, just one, from the hidden camera. Jason in my living room. My wife laughing. His hand resting on her waist. I didn't call her in. I didn't shout. I simply left the screen open on the desk where she would see it. Then I packed one small bag and drove back to the motel. At 10:03 p.m. my phone buzzed. Her text. "We need to talk." I stared at it, feeling something shift inside me, not anger, not heartbreak, but clarity. My name is Evan Porter. And for the first time in years, I understood that I wasn't losing my marriage. I was escaping a lie. I typed one line back. We will. Then I hit send. The next morning, I walked into work like nothing had happened. I greeted my team, reviewed reports, met with clients. But beneath my calm exterior, a plan had already taken root, quiet, deliberate, irreversible. Jason wasn't just some stranger. He worked in our building. An account manager on the third floor. Always friendly. Always just around. And suddenly, everything added up. The unexpected flowers when I was gone, the new perfume she never wore when I was home, the inside jokes I couldn't trace. At lunch I sent an email. Not to her. Not to him. To HR. I didn't accuse. I didn't explain. I simply attached a time-coded video and ended the message with, "This should be enough to review workplace ethics violations. Let me know if you need more." No signature. No threats. Just digital precision. By 3 p.m. Jason was called in. By 4:30 he was packing his things. I watched from my office window as he walked out, confused, sweating, defeated. He had no idea I was behind it. That made it better. When I got home she was waiting. Eyes puffy. Mouth tight. "I know you saw," she said quietly. I nodded. "I did. I messed up." I said nothing. She stepped forward. "Can we fix this?" I looked past her at the couch they sat on, the house we built, the life that was never ours. And I whispered, "That depends on whether you're ready for the truth." Her face paled. Because she wasn't. That night I slept in the guest room. Not because I had to, because I needed distance. The kind that lets you think clearly, without noise, without warmth, without lies wrapped in apologies. She kept knocking. Every hour. "I want to talk. I made a mistake. Let's start over." But what people like her never understand is that trust doesn't die in an explosion. It dies in the quiet, in the days you smile while someone else walks through your door. The next morning I opened my laptop and called a meeting with my attorney. She still thought we were just going through a rough patch. She had no idea I'd already updated my will, locked down all joint accounts, and removed her access to anything she didn't earn. By noon she noticed. Her voice cracked. Did you block the cards?" I nodded. "What is this?" "This," I said calmly, "is what it feels like when someone you trusted leaves you in the dark. Only difference, I won't sleep in your bed while I do it." She stared at me like I was a stranger. That was the moment she realized the version of me who forgave easily was gone. That night I watched the footage again. Not to torture myself, but to study the truth. Every detail. Every lie dressed as laughter. The doorbell rang. It was Jason. And I smiled. Cold. Ready. Jason had no idea I'd be the one opening the door. He paused, surprised but trying to play it cool. "Hey man. I didn't think you were back yet." I looked him up and down. Relaxed. Too relaxed for someone who'd betrayed me in my own house. Clearly. He glanced past me. "Is Amanda home?" I stepped aside. "Come in." He hesitated, but the arrogance won. He stepped into my house like he belonged there. Amanda appeared at the top of the stairs. Barefoot. Pale. Her eyes widened when she saw both of us. Me standing steady, Jason clueless and confident. "You didn't tell me he was back," he said to her, suddenly nervous. I didn't know," she stammered. I walked over to the media console and pulled out a small remote. Click play. The TV lit up with black and white security footage. Time stamped. Labeled. Jason's face filled the screen. Kissing my wife. Drinking my whiskey. Sleeping in my home. Silence. He turned pale. Amanda sank onto the stairs, whispering, "Please, don't." Jason stood frozen. "Listen, I didn't mean." "You meant every second of it," I said. Jason started backing toward the door. "Man, look, this doesn't need to get messy." I smiled slightly. "Oh, it won't." He stepped outside. The door closed behind him. Amanda stayed seated. Shaking. Silent. "I told you," I said, turning toward her. "I watched everything. Now it's your turn to listen." Amanda didn't interrupt. Not once. She just sat on the stairs, frozen. I pulled out the second remote. Another screen lit up. Audio recordings, private texts, deleted messages recovered. Not just Jason. Others. Lies folded inside lies. She whispered, "I never thought you'd find out." I walked past her calm. "You didn't care if I did." She followed me into the kitchen. "Please just, let's talk." I think you've said enough over the last year. I opened a drawer and slid over a thin envelope. Inside, the divorce papers. Already signed. No court battle, I said. I'm not here for revenge. Just closure. She blinked. But, where will I go? I tilted my head. Back to the people you let into our bed. Start there. Tears welled in her eyes. She reached out. I stepped back. Devin will escort you out. Take only what's yours. Amanda opened her mouth, then closed it. Devin appeared at the door. Silent. Professional. Amanda stood, hands shaking. Her gaze swept across the home, photos, the dining table, the couch she never sat on with me anymore. She walked out without another word. I locked the door behind her. Turned off the cameras. Took a deep breath. Not broken. Not bitter. Just free.